Hey, babe. Mm, You got a little pep in your step today. Mhm. You seem to be in a good mood. Mm. You've been thinking. Oh, God, no. Are you okay? Don't hurt your precious little head now. Mi amor, mi amor, no. My love. I love you. Okay, stop, stop. I love you too, baby. Baby, stop. Please, please, I was teasing. Darling, darling. Ay, mi amor. No más, no más, no más, no más, por favor. No más. What did I do to deserve such a brutal attack? Tease you? I did no such thing. I was simply wishing you the best. Mm-hmm. Now come here. Come. Mm. How are you, big baby? So, what are you thinking about, my love? Mm? The story I read to you last night. Oh, you enjoyed it, did you? Well, I'm glad you did. Honestly, I wasn't sure how much of it you actually like remembered. I didn't notice at what point you passed out. Mm. So, you want me to read another one to you? No? Well, at least not today. Mm. Then what do you have in mind, baby? Come on, tell me. You want me to tell you more about Viego's lore? Mm. Okay. Is it because he's like an obsessed, sexy king looking for his queen? I mean, he could be considered like a crazy yandere. Yeah. Come here. So, do you want to sit on my lap while I tell you, or do you want to lay on my chest in bed? Actually, uh, wait. Darling, I can see your face slowly turning pink as you imagine it. Come on, sit on my lap. Sit on my lap. Come here. Yeah, if I go and cuddle you in bed, I might actually pass out. So let's not do that. Viego's lore. Uh, is actually a lot. Like this is a story that's been like foretold, quote unquote, for like 10 years now. So I'm telling like a really large story. I'm trying to compress it all. So you're gonna have to forgive me if I kind of like mix stuff up. That's okay. Okay, I'm glad. Um, League is a really trash game. Let me tell you up front. Like it's pretty like the community is pretty bad, but there's a reason why so many people love the lore. It's like gorgeous storytelling when they're doing it right. Except for when like they're doing it to sell a skin and well, let's not get into that fucking Seraphine, right? So first off, Viego is a massive simp. So who is Viego? Viego was once a young prince. He was not actually meant to be king. His brother was actually meant to be king, but his brother, quote unquote, accidentally died. I mean, I say quote unquote accidentally. It was never like said he was killed off, but it was like hinted. But he wasn't. It was never actually like proven. So Viego was kind of like forced to become the king at a young age, and he was still. He wasn't a bad king, but he wasn't a great king because he was at a younger age. He was more carefree, not really caring about all that much because he's not really gonna be king, but he has to. He's not gonna be king, so he doesn't have to be responsible. But he's a rich prince, so he can just do whatever he wants. But as a king, he tried his best, and it wasn't the best. It wasn't great, but he still tried his best. Until one day, he saw a random commoner seamstress, and he fell in love at first sight. And he went to her and he swept her off her feet, and they fell madly, deeply in love. Um, now a lot of the people wasn't a fan of this because she was a random nobody, but at the same time, they couldn't really do or say much about it because he's the king. But over time, his obsession with her kind of ruined the kingdom. He stopped being king because all he could think about was being a husband to her. And over time, the kingdom started to rebel against him, and they sent an assassin to kill him. But when the assassin was about to kill him, his wife got in the way and she died instead because the blade was poisoned and they couldn't find an antidote. And she didn't die right away. She went in like a coma or something, and she was dying slowly over time. So Viego asked his very trusted guard, like his head guard, his head of security, his greatest warrior, her name is Callista, to go out into the world and to find a cure or a way to save the queen. And she went out and she left her second in command, Hecarim, in charge, right? So over time, Callista went out to search for the antidote. Viego went slowly, cripply, depressed, and insane because of his wife slowly dying. Eventually, she died, but he did not make that public information. He took her body and tried to like prolong the rotting stage and kept it in like an underground cellar, and he locked himself down there with the body because he was so obsessed with his wife. And Hecarim, his now top in command because Callista left, was running things. And the thing is, Hecarim was a bloodthirsty killer. So he would use the excuse of people rebelling or people standing up against the king as a reason to kill people. And he'd always claim it in the name of the king. It was one of those things where he would like kill people and then come and tell the king, "Oh, well, these people were bad people. I need to kill them." And the king was just, "Yeah, it's whatever. Do whatever you want. Just leave me alone with my wife." So many months pass, and Callista found this place called the Blessed Isles. The Blessed Isles was this place of magic where everything lived peacefully. It was this place. It was basically like heaven, but on earth, and the place were like really scholars and stuff, right? And they don't really let people in, but they can see the purity in Callista's heart. And they were like, okay, Callista, you're this really sweet, this really caring person. You're all about honor and respect. We will let you in. And they heard her cries and their pleads, and they turned to her and they were like, look, homie, uh, we don't usually like help people like this. We kind of there's like a big no against like bringing people back from the dead. But if she's still alive and it's just poison you need to have like cured, we can make an exception because we kind of like you because you're like really nice. And she was like, ah, yes. But then they were like, hey, look, you can't tell anybody where the Blessed Isles are because we're kind of like heaven on earth. And then she was like, sure, how do I get back? And they're like, okay, we're gonna mark you. Only you can ever get back. Only you will know, and only you can find this place and be allowed entry. So she rushed back to the king to tell the king about what happened. But by the time she got there, um, by the time she got there, the queen was already dead. And when she got there, like Hecarim started blaming her for the queen's death because the queen needed her to bring her the antidote and she didn't get it. And they arrested her. And now Callista, because she promised that she wouldn't tell anybody where the Blessed Isles are, and now the queen is dead and she can't really like take the sick queen because she promised the queen was sick, was imprisoned. And Hecarim would always come and torment her, pretending to be a friend, but kind of like edging her on to tell him where it is. And one day, she finally decided, okay, maybe, maybe just maybe, the Blessed Isles could still help the Queen because Viego was completely gone. He was completely gutted. He was down in the basement, holding a dead, rotting corpse, and they were on their way. It's him, Viego, Hecarim, Callista, all on a boat. A bunch of Hecarim's royal guards on a boat, right? And right before they reached, Callista was like telling them, "Okay, look, guys, these people are extremely religious. Don't do anything silly. Don't do anything crazy." And when they reached, she entered they entered and she explained the situation, and they say, no, you guys need to turn back, we can't do anything for you guys. And this angered Viego, and Viego was saying, we need to storm this city, and we need to go and find a way to save his queen. And Callista's like, no, we can't do that, that's bad. And then Hecarim stabbed her in the back and killed her. And then because Hecarim is like this bloodthirsty killer, right? And he stabbed her in the back and killed her. And Viego, not really caring because all he cares about is finding a way to save his queen, picked up his queen and they rushed the city and they slaughtered everyone in the city looking for someone to help them find a way to save the queen. Now there is this man called Thresh, right? He was part of the Blessed Isles, but he was a sick, twisted soul. He always wanted to try human experiments or experiments on the soul because he valued information so much. He valued collecting things so much. He needed to know. So he decided to help them, and he led them to the Blessed Water, where Viego took the corpse of his wife and dropped her into the Blessed Water. And while he did that, his wife like came back to life, but not as like a full-fledged human being. She came back to life as a rotten corpse. She was falling apart and her body was still dying, but she was alive and she was screaming in unimaginable pain. And she remembered dying. And in that moment, she remembered dying. She panicked and she took Viego's sword and starved it through his heart. And in that moment, the immense pain and sorrow, anger and sadness from both her and Viego caused a curse to fall upon the Blessed Isles, what we call the Ruination. And this gnarly black mist seeped out of Viego's heart and erupted and mixed with the magic of the Blessed Isles and caused the entire Blessed Isles to become this evil, grotesque, nasty place. Yeah. You following me so far? Yeah? Okay, good. I just needed to make sure that you were listening. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that you were following me. I'm actually surprised you're still awake. Okay, we're getting down to the end of it, don't worry. So, what the Black Mist did, right? The Black Mist corrupted everything. All of the pretty plains were turned to just dead grass. All of the people, if they were just innocent people, they were turned into ghouls, undead. But if there were people with twisted hearts and souls, let's say the person Thresh, who wanted to do human experiments, he was turned into this collector of souls. Hecarim, who was this vicious murderer, he was fused with his horse, becoming half man, half horse, plated in armor. Technically, all of Hecarim's like guards, all of his like soldiers were fused together with their horses, and it's like extremely painful and grotesque. Callista, who who didn't die right away, she was brought back to life with a spear sticking through her chest. She was brought back as a spirit of vengeance. Yeah, of she wanted vengeance on the people who betrayed her. So she roams the world looking for betrayers and people who break promises and takes vengeance upon them. And Viego, he he lost his heart, like physically he lost his heart. And because he was like the source of the curse, he didn't get warped or anything, but he absorbed the magic of the Blessed Isles, so he didn't die, but he caused the curse around him, so he's the source of the ruination. His wife, her body gave up and rotted away, and her soul was released from her body. And it broke into multiple parts as it was looking for like a place to contain itself. And part of it went to Thresh, part of it went to an old doll that she made because she was a seamstress. And part of it went um, part of it went to the music box that I read in the last story. So now Viego is trapped. The Blessed Isles gave out and concaved, and he was crippled by the loss of his wife because he did all of this for his wife. And without her, he had no purpose to live on. So he was just crippled, living there without reason, without purpose, and didn't do much for a long time. And that brings us to Thresh. Now, Thresh is the collector of souls, and for a long time, we thought that Thresh was the main bad person in the Shadow Isles, and there is two characters called Lucian and Senna that was like fighting back the darkness. They're sentinels. They fight back the evil ruination. They fight back all the ghouls and all the monsters. And Senna, Lucian's wife, was captured by Thresh. So for a long time, Thresh was trying to capture Lucian by taunting him with his wife, and Lucian was trying to save Senna from Thresh and save a bunch of like small fighting details. But they fought. Senna got out and saved Lucian, and they both reunited. But when Senna got out, her powers were amplified, and she had these new way to control the mist because Senna was no longer alive nor dead. She was alive, but she was something else. And that's when Viego started to become more active because he, over the centuries or so, he started like looking for his wife's soul. And at that point, when Senna was released, she got the biggest portion of the soul out of Thresh's lantern, and that like awoken something out of Viego, and he started to become more active. And as Viego started to become more active, Senna and Lucian together tried to like form a resistance to stop him, and it's kind of crazy. And that's where I'm gonna like leave off the general story. There's a bit more, but it kind of ruined the story of it itself because Riot decided they wanted to sell skins over the actual storytelling. How did it went? It went kind of like um, Viego started actually. I'll just do the entire thing and get it over with. Yeah, Viego tried to like send the herring over the entire earth and everywhere he can touch to find all the remaining parts of his wife's soul. And he got one in the music box. Um, one of the souls that was inside the doll that his wife made came to life and became like a living doll. And she joined Lucian and Senna with they're like the good guys, and Lucian and Senna went all over the world looking for like powerful people to form a team to stop Viego, and they formed a team and they went, and Viego went and he corrupted other powerful people to be like his champions to defend him, and they had a big showdown where Viego bodied them. He literally bodied them, and he got his wife's soul. Like he ripped his wife's soul out of Senna. He ripped his wife's soul out of the doll, and then he took his wife's soul out of the music box, and he combined it, and he brought his wife back to life as a spirit. And when his wife came back to life, she looked down at him and was like, "Viego, what have you done? You you've killed me twice now. I died for you like with the dagger. I died for you at the Blessed Isle, and now you brought me back to life, Viego. How many people need to suffer?" And the absolute shock and bewilderment that was on Viego's face because for the longest while he thought he was like doing the good thing, the right thing, and he was bringing his wife back to life. She would be happy to be with him. And then when he finally achieved his goal, she just wanted to be dead. And in that moment of hesitation, that moment of just pure shock, one of the guys, Akshan, he was like one of the Sentinels. Like they made a big deal about him, but that's just because they needed to release a new champion, right? Yeah. So Akshan came and shoot the spirit of the queen, and she broke she broke apart again. She went back into Senna, bringing her back to life. She went back into the doll, bringing her back to life, and went. I'm not sure where the one in the music box went. Actually, that's a good question. Anyway, yeah. So and then Viego, completely crippled by losing his wife again. The doll with her special powers came and like sealed him away, and they like sealed him away at the bottom of the Shadow Isle somewhere. And then everybody lived happily ever after. Um, like it sounds like a decent story when you like tell it like that, but you need to understand there's like a lot more in play here because there's supposed to be Moikai, which is a tree from the Blessed Isles that's trying to plant trees and trying to bring back life to the Shadow Isles. And his entire life's purpose is to defeat Viego. And then there's what's his name again? What is his name again? He's the guy with the shovel and the maiden. What is his name? I can't remember his name. But his entire purpose is to get revenge on Viego because he was like a person. He was a survivor of the Blessed Isles like thousands of years ago, and he enslaved the body of the maiden, right? Which is like Viego's wife's body that got corrupted and turned into a ghoul. Like the soul is not there, but like the body was warped and turned into this horrific ghoul that torments him. I mean, I'm really sorry I forgot his name. Like he's like one of the most really messed up and cool lore bits. But yeah, and his entire job is to go around killing as many ghouls, using ghouls as he possibly can, and getting rid of the hiring. And his entire life's purpose is to kill Viego to get revenge for his people. And Riot kind of just said, yeah, but you guys don't sell skins. So we're not really going to use you guys for the stories. Yeah, the fact that I can't remember his name is like part of the reason why Riot was like, nah, we're not going to use you. I'll be damned. You are actually paying more attention to this than I expected. Than you actually like to pay attention to anything. Wow. And you managed to stay awake. I'm proud of you. I can see I convinced yet another poor soul to fall in love with League of Legends lore. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do this to you. Please don't get too attached. Next second, I'm gonna see you buying skin lores and comic books and stories. How long have I been talking? Wow, it's so late already. Uh, Come on, let's head to bed together. Yeah, I mean, playing games is fun and all, but hey, I have an amazing, gorgeous, smart, and really, really precious girlfriend. Why wouldn't I want to like just sleep with her every once in a while? Hmm? I mean, if you're a good girl, maybe I can show you a good time later. Uh-huh. Mhm. Yeah, I love you too. I know. Forever, always. I woke up this morning and I started recording as soon as I woke up. And like 16 minutes into the video, I didn't expect it to be that long. I didn't expect me to be rambling for that long, but apparently I was. And you can hear the change in my voice as I start to wake up and my morning voice starts to fade. and my actual voice starts to kick in. And I tried my best. I really tried my best to like keep the continuity and like keep my voice at like one standard tone. And it was just like, oh man, I'm so embarrassed. But apart from that, as you can see, I'm doing and trying new things. Uh, I wanted to give like a full, quick lore rundown. Like a lot of the stories that I read isn't like their full lore; they're just like one-off stories about their adventures and stuff. So I wanted to give like a generalized lore breakdown on who it is and what events took place, and I ended up just going with it, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. Um, yeah, I just thought like, why not just do a whole character breakdown and who they are and what they do, you know? I just really love these bits of laws and having the ability to sit down and talk to you guys and just rant about it. It's just adorable. Um, yeah, I don't really have much to say here, so I'll keep this one short, seeing as the video is like 20, 30 minutes long. Is it 30 minutes long? It's like 30 minutes long. This is gonna be like 35 minutes long. Holy. Ooh. Yeah. This video's gonna tank. I can feel it. Okay, yeah. Thanks for listening. Did you know? Did you know that I forgot my analytics? I did. That 78.2% of the people listening to this right now are not subscribed to me. That's a large number of people. If you've made it this far and you like the content, please leave a like and a comment down below. As for your subscription, I'll be playing you in a friendly game of rock, paper, scissors. The rules are simple. I will go rock, paper, scissors, then shoot. Upon shoot, I'll announce what I went, and if I've won, you're not obligated to subscribe. If I've lost, you're not obligated to go down in the comment section and let me know. If it's a draw, you're not obligated to meet me here tomorrow to play again. If I win and you're already subscribed, you're obligated to hit that notification button to put on all notifications because stuff like comments, likes, and putting on notifications really help with the algorithm and it helps push my channel a lot. All right, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Today I went rock. That means if you went scissors, you just lost. If you went paper, you just won. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. I really enjoyed this. I'll keep this outro under 5 minutes. That's a lie. I have to do the Patreon question. I forgot again, and I was gonna end my video without doing it. Silly me. Okay, never mind. This is not gonna be under 5 minutes. Uh, my apologies. Actually, no, it can't be under 5 minutes. I think it's only one question today. Yeah, it's only one question today. I forgot to like post the stuff on Instagram. Have you read any really good mangas lately? I have actually. Um, it's getting an an anime adaptation, and I didn't know it was, but Blue Period is really good. It's about this artist that's getting into art and he isn't sure because he's really good at everything and he gets into art and he sees how in depth it is because you have to express yourself and your feelings through art and it's really crippling the pressure that you put on yourself. And another one that I really like is Straight Girl Trap. Don't ask me why, it's just really enjoyable to read just two lesbians being lesbians and a straight girl becoming a lesbian. Don't ask me why. I just really enjoyed it. It was really cute. Okay, I am gonna keep this under 5 minutes. So thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you. And bye bye.